What's up, fight fans, and welcome back to All Access MMA. But we're not doing the podcast today. We actually are previewing Joseph Ugly Man Holmes' upcoming fight. It's against Claudio Ribeiro, May the 6th at UFC 288. Joseph, how you doing, bud?
Doing good, brother. I'm doing real good. About to go coach some fights. I'm excited about that.
Oh, nice. Where is that going to be at?
We're going to Texarkana. Guys are fighting for Peak Fighting. I don't know if their name's big enough or made it out there yet, but yeah, it's pretty exciting. 3 guys on that card.
Very cool. I was interviewing Brian Battle yesterday, and he was talking about his love for coaching and helping out the youth. Is that something that you have a real love for too, that you can see yourself doing maybe full time once you're done fighting?
Oh, yeah. Actually, a big dream of mine is to coach guys who become champions. So that's kind of why I'm pursuing the belt, and like working as hard as I am because I want to be a champ one day so that I can coach up some other guys to be a champ one day.
Very cool. Is there one or two youngsters that you feel like really could be taking that next step that's under your wing right now?
Yeah, a couple, but the thing about guys when they're up and coming is like it's so hard to hold on to them. Like they get clouded, their judgment gets clouded, and they usually end up leaving, or a lot of them end up like leaving, going to some other camp, or finding some other coach and stuff. So it's not really the youngsters I look forward to. It's kind of the people around my age who aren't as experienced as me yet, who I want to be a part of their journey and help them get there.
Very cool. Well, let's transition to your journey. Last time we did see you inside of the octagon was in October of 2022. Obviously, we know the outcome against Jun Young Park there. I guess my first question, as far as that goes, is were you hoping to get in there a little bit sooner than now? I mean, it seems like I would have imagined we would have seen you before, May the 6th.
I mean, not necessarily hoping. I would have liked to fight sooner. I would have liked to have been ready to fight sooner, but I had a coach, my old coach James Krause. That stopped working out, so I had a period where I didn't have a coach, MMA coach, so that wasn't. I couldn't fight then, but I kind of got pushed into the right direction with the coaches that I'm with now at War, and I feel really confident. I'm excited.
You definitely had some good moments in that fight against Park. I guess what's the big takeaway for you that looking back at it now, you're like, I wish I would have done this different, maybe giving you a different outcome.
Honestly, I don't think there is a moment I wish I did different. I don't regret anything about that fight, man. I felt like I got a lot better leading into that fight. And even during the fight, facing a guy like Jun Young Park, there was not one moment where I felt like, oh shit, like it was like I was doing super good. We were going back and forth until it was over. He just caught me in some really great technique. Um, but no, I don't really regret anything. I worked super hard getting into that fight and I had some success and I started implementing my game too, right then. So, um, it kind of shows me where I am. And then Park is on a tear right now too. So it's not like I lost to just a slouch either.
Mhm.
So yeah, everything about that fight I'm really confident about. It's just I wish I didn't lose, obviously. And so I'm just gonna take that same thing into this fight and try and rip this guy's head off a lot sooner.
Do you think the version of yourself today versus when you fought Park, the fight would be very different if you got a rematch with him?
Oh, for sure. I feel like I'm a whole different fighter. I feel like after every fight I get better. Like even the ones I won and everything. Like I feel like I grow from fight to fight. So no, absolutely. I feel like now I'm a completely different fighter.
And I do understand that this upcoming fight against Claudio is the last fight on your first UFC contract. What's your feelings like leading into this one? Do you feel extra pressure to go in there and really make a statement?
No, no extra pressure. These fights are full of pressure, regardless, in my opinion. But no, I mean I've it's definitely on my mind. It's my last fight of my contract, but either way, it's not the end of my journey. I feel like the type of fighter that I am is good enough to be in the UFC. So like I just feel like if I just go in there and give my absolute all, then they'll recognize that I'm where I'm supposed to be, and I don't think I don't think I don't think anything can change what fate has for me. So
Okay, very good. Well, obviously, it all begins with this upcoming fight, getting a win over Ribeiro, May the 6th at UFC 288. Let's dive right into the fight, actually. You know, he had a round two TKO loss to Abdul Razak Al Hassan most recently. Dana White Contender Series looked pretty good in that fight, round one win. What do you see from him? Where is he most dangerous?
I think he's most dangerous like when you're moving backwards. Um, he's a really strong guy. It seems like he's puts a lot of power behind everything. Um, he doesn't have the greatest setups with stuff, but he has a lot of power. So it's kind of just like playing chicken, like come head on with each other, and whoever turns away first loses. But yeah, that's kind of what I see. Just aggressive, heavy striker, counter striker at that.
Seems like based on what you're saying that might be tailor made to your style. Maybe you're going to be able to shine in this fight. Do you feel like you're going to ultimately get like a highlight reel TKO victory, or is this one of those grind fests where you're going to have to really work to get him out of there or win a decision?
I feel like I have more experience, or just like more rounds than him as far as like these high level rounds. Um, so I'm definitely ready to grind him out. If that's what it comes to. Like if I'm catching him with shots and he's just not going away, I am absolutely ready to grind him out for 3 rounds. But yeah, I kind of feel like a fight like this is kind of how you said tailor made, like for me to get a knockout. I feel like he's going to like opposed to some of my previous opponents, if I catch him, I don't feel like he's going to shoot for a takedown. I feel like he'll bite down and you know keep firing back. So that's kind of what I'm hoping for. Um, and then yeah, to catch him and put him away, I feel a knockout. I feel like a lot of the universe is pointing towards a knockout. I've been drilling these techniques that I feel can lead me to a knockout over and over again. So I'm really excited.
I have to imagine too. I mean, if I was in your shoes with your height, your length, that has to give you so much confidence going into whoever you're fighting.
Nah, dude, honestly, like I feel like everybody thinks the way you just pointed out, but like every time I see my opponents, man, they're like jags, they're gigantic, like, massive people. And that's kind of why I bulked up. I'm like, y'all, freak that. I refuse to be the smaller guy anymore. So
Well, I've seen on your Instagram, you're hitting the weights hard, man. Like, have you noticed is your strength increasing?
yeah, yeah, absolutely. Like I was actually talking to my coach about this the other day. Like now the way I move my feet, because I've been working really hard on like footwork and getting my feet together and making sure I'm always moving them, not leaning my head and doing things that can get me caught. So at first, when I started doing footwork a lot more, it was obviously really tiring for me and draining on my legs. And now like I'm just moving my feet. I'm watching film. I'm noticing, boom, like moments at first where they would tire me out. Now they're like it's nothing. It's just like second nature, just moving my feet. So that, as well as I've been landing, strikes effortlessly and dropping opponents, and before that just wasn't happening in the gym. So yeah, man, I feel like I've progressed a lot. And I feel like you're gonna see a different version of me. I've been just working on different things, not huge things, but like just different things that are important that I wasn't necessarily focusing on before. So
Very good. Tell me, main training partners for this camp. Who have you had around you mostly?
I've had Trevin Giles, Alex Morano, Zach Reese, a few amateurs that are fighting this weekend. Actually, James, um, a pro. His name's Anthony Ivy,
Oh yeah.
who's on his way to the UFC. And guys at the gym, a lot of amateurs from the gym, obviously, but a lot of these amateurs are great training partners. But yeah, that's about who I've been working with right now.
How's the travel been? Because I know you go back and forth a little bit. That's got to be kind of a grind.
It is definitely a grind. It takes a toll on not only just like my physical and mental, but like, my relationship and stuff. We gotta definitely make sure we put some time aside to spend together. Because in the car I'll just be trying to sleep the whole time, and she'll be just driving me hours and hours, and so it's hard, but it's worth it. Things like that are how I feel confident when I fight, like making sacrifices. It really helps me, feel like I've done what it takes to get the win.
I also wanted to talk to you a little bit about your goals as maybe a potential media member down the line, right? You do the podcast with me weekly, which is going great. I love speaking with you, obviously. And you also are doing commentary work for a promotion in Texas. So tell me, like, what you're hoping as far as all of that goes.
Well, I did tell James, I was like, man, I don't think I can do what y'all do. I feel like you guys have a different talent that nobody's really talking about right now, but it's not easy having that type of knowledge about all these different guys and you know and being able to break down, what they usually do and then put that towards, what they're most likely to do coming up. It's a lot, dude. So I don't know if I want to be, like a journalist or anything, but I do like what we have going on. It's a lot of fun. But yeah, no, commentary is something I would badly like to do at a higher level. I do commentary now for XKO. That's going great. And for a while, I had put it in my mind I wasn't planning on getting paid for this. Like, this is something that I'm gonna just put the time into, and then one day just get offered like some sweet gig. But no, like this is my first gig, and they're paying me for it and everything. So I'm like, holy, this is awesome. So yeah, I definitely want to commentate more. It's a lot of fun, and maybe one day commentate for the UFC. That'd be awesome.
Yeah, no doubt. Well, first of all, I have to say, I think you could do whatever you wanted to do. You're very well spoken. You're a charismatic guy. You're knowledgeable. So don't sell yourself short. But I agree with you on as far as the commentary goes, man. I love doing it. I do it for New England fights, and I'm making it a mission of mine eventually to get you up there to join the broadcast booth and do an event or hopefully more with myself and my partner Greg. You'd be a fantastic addition. So I'm going to send this to the owner. I'll cut this up, send it to the owner when we're done, and hopefully we can make that happen.
That would be phenomenal, dude. Yeah, that'd be awesome.
All right, man. Listen, I wanted to ask you too. Obviously, for the podcast, we already previewed UFC 287, but I just wanted
Yeah.
to get your thoughts on the outcome of what happened between Izzy and Pereira. Were you really surprised by what transpired and Izzy knocking him out?
I was actually extremely surprised, dude. I did not see it going that way. With him losing to him three times, it was hard to like imagine him being able to overcome those feelings and just like, rip Prey like he did. But I was super impressed to see him do it. Prey is a scary guy, big guy. So big that he's talking about going to 205, and those guys are massive. So, hats off to Izzy, dude, and I'm very intrigued to see what happens to the division. Even though it's not a gigantic change, but I'm sure a lot of the guys in the division were like dead set on, seeing Alex Pereira here soon. So to go back to the way things were, where it's back to, basically the guy who's kicked everybody's ass in the division is still the champ, so very interesting stuff in our division.
Who do you feel like would give Adesanya the most trouble that's still in the division right now? Obviously, there's been some social media back and forth between him and Dricus du Plessis. Robert Whitaker is still right there, the former champion, pining to get another title shot. And then you have Hamzat Chimaev that's thrown into the mix, not being able to make 170. Is there someone that you feel like could give Izzy the most trouble or potentially beat him?
Dude, honestly, I bet Jun Young Park. I bet you money Jun Young Park can take Izzy. That guy's super duper good. He's under the radar right now. I think he's on like a 3 or 4, maybe 5 win streak, something crazy. But I think Jun Young Park, man, somebody higher up. I think Robert Whitaker could could figure out that puzzle, man. I think he's gotten pretty close. Um, and he has the most time in there with him.
Mhm.
So I think, yeah, I think maybe Robert Whitaker could figure that out.
Man, I thought that second fight was a coin flip too. I thought you easily could have given it to
Oh,
Robert.
yeah, he definitely filled the gap between the first and second fight.
For sure. I also got to ask you a little bit. Obviously, Kevin Holland was on that card. He beat Ponzinibbio in the third round. We know what happened. That you went on social media and talked a little bit about that interaction. Have you spoken with him at all since? Has there been any type of dialogue since that interaction that happened at that event?
No, only dialogue between us has been him making videos about my video, just like having a problem with it or whatever. And no, I do know that for some reason, I guess it's just that we look similar or something, but like everybody always asks me about him. I'm at the freaking eye doctor yesterday, and the eye doctor, when I'm leaving, he's like, Kevin Hall? No, he's like, Big Mouth? And I was like, what? And I like paused and I'm like, talking about Kevin Holland. He's like, yeah, you fighting him? He's like an Asian guy. He's like, you fighting him? I'm like, no. Like, what the heck? Why does everybody always ask me about this guy? But no, no, no. I haven't spoke to him. Probably won't.
You're saying people say you look like one another?
No,
No,
no. It's just
no.
they just me and them just talk and Kevin Holland comes up.
Oh,
Like
okay.
people just I don't know what it is. Like when I first meet people and it's about UFC or UFC comes up or something, Kevin Holland comes up. I just think it's hilarious.
If you do run into him at some event or maybe at your next fight, like how do you anticipate he's going to be? Do you expect there to be a beef, or are you guys just going to walk the opposite direction?
No, I do. I expect him to have some type of problem. I don't think if I'm in the same area with Kevin Holland that he's going to be able to just walk past me and just be. I don't think so. Every time I've seen him, I just try and just walk by, and then he's just like, I'm like, dude, like, what is wrong with you? Like, it literally makes me like reminds me of my childhood. Like all these bullies, you're just like walking on eggshells all over the place, and just like all these bullies are just waiting to just like just try something. That's kind of what it feels like.
He's fighting at 170 now. Are you significantly bigger than him, or are you guys similar size?
I'm bigger than him. I don't know if I'm significantly bigger than him, but he's just long and lanky. But I definitely have a lot more width, and I think we're the same height. I don't ever like look up to him when I've seen him,
Mhm.
except for when he did that crap on the stairs. He was above me.
Yeah. All right. Well, I had to ask. Obviously,
Oh, you're all good.
anyone, yeah, anyone that follows you and knows about that situation would want to hear a little bit about what's going on right now. Let's talk a little bit about UFC 288. Obviously, we're going to be doing the preview show at some point soon, but just give me your initial thoughts between Aljamain Sterling and Henry Cejudo for the 135 title. What are you thinking right now? Your early prediction?
I think Sterling can pull it off, man. I think that he might be a little too weird on the feet, so I don't know if Cejudo's gonna have. Wait, did I say Cejudo? I'm gonna say Sterling. I think Sterling will. Yeah, I don't know if Cejudo can handle Sterling on the feet, but I know he'll obviously be able to handle the stuff on the ground. But Sterling is just a great grappler as well, so I do have Sterling winning that fight. Plus
All right.
Cejudo's.
That is true. And obviously, New Jersey is a little bit of a hike from where you're at in Texas. When are you going to be making the trip there? Are you going to be there for the full, pre-fight week, doing all your media obligations pretty early?
Yeah, I think I'm going to be there Tuesday, and then I'll be there the whole week until Sunday, and then I'm hopefully planning on coming back the following week to come out there and spend some time with you.
That would be awesome, man. That would be very cool. So obviously, your girl is going with you as well. When you're up there, are you going to do any sightseeing? You planning to get to New York at all?
Hopefully, yeah. That's why. Yeah, we're coming. I don't know if we'll get to New York before the fight. Um, but that's kind of why I'm planning on coming back. I already have these flight credits. I'm a book, probably come out there, spend like the weekdays, like a whole week or something like that out there, so we can get to New York and do some sightseeing and some food sampling, and you know how that goes.
100%, man. If you do make it up to Maine, where I'm at, you gotta try some seafood. I definitely would show you around and take some time off from work, man. It'd be a blast.
What, like mussels or something? Is that popular up there or what?
Lobster is that's where it's known. Yeah, lobster. Anything seafood up here is huge, and anything on the coast you're gonna love.
Okay. Is it in Jersey? Is there a thing like wet sandwiches? Is that a thing there? Do you know?
I don't know. Jersey's
Uh,
still a little bit of a hike for where I'm at. My wife was just there, so I'd have to ask her, but I'll ask her and let you know. I know the food's good. You can get good food in Jersey for sure.
yeah, I heard it's like always cold, so everybody's pissed, and like all the girls are ugly. It's like
I'm
from a,
definitely Yeah, I mean, I'm not going to speak on that. You're going to have to decide for yourself once you're there. But yeah, I mean, the East Coast is cool, man. It's especially this time of year. It's starting to get warmer, so from like November to March, it's miserable. It's cold. It's cloudy. It's dark. It's better to be where you're at, or on the West Coast. So you're coming on the right time.
okay. I'm excited about that.
Last question, man. Official prediction. How do you get your hand raised at UFC 288?
Man, if I don't get a knockout in the second, I think I'm gonna win that unanimous decision. I'm gonna put that pace on him, put that work on this guy, make him miss, make him pay.
Can't wait to see you in there, man. I hope I'm there cage side, or at least wherever they put the media members for UFC 288. But really excited to see you back in action again. Joseph Holmes meets Claudio Ribeiro May the 6th at UFC 288. Always a pleasure, buddy. Before we do sign off, kick it over to you. Tell people where to follow you on social media, and if you have anyone to thank, the floor is yours.
Yeah, go check me out on everything. Ugly Man Joe. I got an awesome fight pick show on All Access MMA. That's Ugly True Fight Picks. Go check it out. It's actually really good. We got compliments from James. So, no, I much love to you, brother. Appreciate your time, and Iridium Sports being the awesomest management agency on the planet.